Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will talk about words that can take your writing to a whole new level and help you succeed on TOEFL. Are you excited? Let's get started.
Everything's in English.
All you need to know.
All right. How did you learn to speak English?
You know that when writing an essay, it's essential to be able to paraphrase well in order to avoid repetition. Let's check how well you know synonyms. Right now, you will see different sentences on the screen, one sentence at a time. Each sentence contains a capitalized word, and below there are 4 different words, one of which is not a synonym. You need to identify the incorrect one. By doing this in every task, by the end of the video, you will have 3 synonyms for the 9 most common words on TOEFL writing. These synonyms can in fact be used not only for TOEFL prep, but also for IELTS, Duolingo, and any other English language test. If you answered all questions correctly, write millionaire in the comments below. If you got an answer wrong, write down the capitalized word you got wrong along with 3 synonyms. Now, welcome aboard and let's get started. Question 1. Instead of simply punishing them, the system encourages offenders to change their behavior. A. Alter. B. Fortify. C. Modify. D. Adjust. The right answer is B. Fortify, since alter, modify, and adjust are all synonyms for the verb to change. The word fortify means to strengthen. That's not a good choice for change. For instance, I can say many foods are fortified with vitamins and nutrients, which means that they're strengthened by them. If you answered the question correctly, congrats. If you made a mistake, try rewriting the sentence in the comments 3 times using each of the 3 synonyms instead of the verb to change. That will be a great way to practice these words. Let's move on. Question 2. To create an effective advertising campaign, you must first identify who your target market is. A. Inhibit. B. Determine. C. Find out. D. Establish. A is the right answer. The verb to inhibit means to hinder, restrain, or prevent something from happening. For example, extreme cold inhibits plant growth. It means that when it is very cold, plants cannot grow or are prevented from growing by the cold. As for the other verbs, determine, find out, and establish, they can be used in the sentence instead of identify with no change in meaning. Let's proceed to the next question. Question 3. These chemicals have a detrimental impact on the environment. A. Negative. B. Adverse. C. Disadvantageous. D. Abundant. What do you think the correct answer is? It is D. Abundant. While detrimental means bad, which makes it synonyms with negative, adverse, and disadvantageous, abundant means present in large quantities. For instance, abundant natural resources implies a lot of natural resources, or more than enough natural resources. The word adverse is often used with effect, so we can say that fast food has an adverse effect on our health. It means that it negatively or adversely affects it. So remember, negative equals adverse and equals disadvantageous. Time for question 4. To land a dream job, it's vital to have skills that, generally speaking, one does not acquire at college, but in daily working life. A. Obtain. B. Promote. C. Get. And D. Gain. And the right answer is B. Promote. Indeed, to promote means to support something and encourage people to like, buy, use, or do it. For instance, advertising companies help businesses promote their products to the audience, which means to make them more popular among people. Other verbs like obtain, get, gain are synonyms of acquire. We can get experience, obtain skills, or gain knowledge. I can say, I gained a lot of knowledge in college. Good job, we are owning it. Question 5. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has had a devastating impact on the American economy, technology giants such as Apple and Tesla are still prospering. A. Thriving. B. Flourishing. C. Supplanting. D. Doing well. By the way, devastating means really bad or destructive or horrific. For instance, tsunamis have devastating effects, which means really bad effects. Let's reveal the correct answer. It is A. Supplanting. To supplant means to replace. For instance, driverless cars will soon supplant traditional ones. This means that traditional cars will give way to their driverless alternatives. Now, this is certainly not a synonym to the verb to prosper. At the same time, thrive, flourish, and do well are. These verbs mean to grow well or develop rapidly or successfully because of a good environment. By the way, if you're planning to take the TOEFL to get admitted to a college or get a job abroad, we have a great course to help you score high on the test. We will delve into each section on the test, discuss the templates you need to get 25 plus in the speaking and writing sections, as well as complete all the sections together so that you can see how to tackle the questions in the most effective way. If you get the Guru package, you can even get an evaluation of your writing and speaking, so you will be 100% sure that you will get the needed score on the test day. The link to the course with the promo code is in the description below. Go check it out. Question 6. Smoking inside restaurants and bars is prohibited. A. Banned. B. Restricted. C. Tolerated. D. Forbidden. Guess what the right answer is? If you chose answer C, you nailed it. Good job. Indeed, to tolerate means to put up with something or to accept certain things such as behavior, for example, that are different from yours, even though you might not agree with them or approve of them. I don't like when people smoke next to me. This means that if I continue talking to a person who is smoking in my face, I tolerate him. To prohibit, to ban, or to forbid all mean the same thing, making them perfect synonyms. For instance, many people say that cars should be banned or prohibited from city centers. Question 7. Many people these days opt for alternative medicines such as acupuncture or homeopathy instead of traditional procedures. A. Stable. B. Usual. C. Conventional. D. Typical. Actually, the only word that is not a synonym of traditional is stable. What is stable? It is something that is unlikely to move or change, like a stable job. It is unlikely that you're going to lose it without warning. Stable procedures are nonsense. Therefore, traditional can be rephrased with usual, conventional, and typical. For instance, cars are a conventional or usual means of transport. Question 8. It is still debated whether or not online games have a negative effect on students. A. A negative impact. B. A negative influence. C. Negative consequences. D. A negative incentive. The right answer is D. Incentive, which means a reason to do something or, a thing that encourages a person to do something. What is your incentive for learning English, for example? Let me know in the comments below. Now, impact, influence, and consequences are the synonyms of effect. I can say an adverse effect or an adverse influence, which means negative consequences. And finally, question 9. Technology allows people to communicate with each other from different parts of the world. A. Suspends. B. Enables. C. Permits. D. Lets. The right answer is A. Suspend. What does that mean? Suspend means to temporarily stop from being active. For instance, from going to school or work. You can get suspended from your job as well. For instance, the police officer was suspended from duty pending an investigation. It means that he could no longer work as a police officer until he was cleared by the results of the investigation. It is not a synonym of the verb allow, while enable, permit, and let are. I can say that smoking is allowed or permitted in a particular place. Well guys, that was it for today. Congrats to those of you who answered all the questions correctly. Don't forget to write millionaire in the comments below, or let me know which words were most challenging for you. See you in the next video. Bye!